Hey there everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for taking the time to join me here today for another pick a card reading. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome in. My name is Melissa and today's topic is going to be your August 2021 love life reading. So this is going to be an outlook for your love life and relationship life for the month of August. And this reading will give you kind of a snapshot of what energy is headed your way based off of the current vibe that you're on right now. So this is totally changeable. It's totally flexible. Always keep that in mind with these predictive readings. You guys have free will to create your own choices and decisions, which will create whatever outcome it is that you're looking for. This reading is also general in nature, so some messages will resonate very specifically while others may not. Just keep that in mind as you're viewing. Take whatever resonates with you and leave behind anything that doesn't. If you guys do want to book a personal reading with me, all of the details on how you can do that are in the description box down below. So we're going to be working with 4 piles today. Starting here on the left, we have pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about your love life and what's heading your way in the month of August. Select the card or the crystal you're feeling the most intuitively guided to. Pick with your intuition, not your eyes. And whenever you're ready, you can click the timestamp below that corresponds to your card or crystal selection. See you at your reading. Hey there, pile number 1. If you all selected the beautiful aqua obsidian heart, this will be your August 2021 love life reading. So what I'm going to be doing first is starting off with some oracle cards so we can kind of get a sense of like the overall energy you guys are working with in your love life this month, kind of the bigger picture themes that we have going on. And then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty details in the second part of your reading here with your tarot and oracle cards. So let's start off and see. I'm going to slide this over here. Let's see what we have for you, group number 1. So we have finances and career. We have the temple path reversed. Okay. We have girl talk. All right. And we have chakra balance. Okay. All right, so for pile number 1, what is happening for you guys in love this month? So I'm definitely getting the vibe here that you guys, I always hate this. Like, I know that we're asking specifically about your love life this month, but as Spirit does, sometimes there's a more important message that needs to come through. So we're going to get into like the nitty gritty of the details here in a second. But overall, what I'm kind of feeling for you, pile 1, is that this month, it feels like you guys are kind of in this place where you're not really super focused on love. You're not really putting a lot of intention or effort or energy into that aspect of your life. And if you are connecting with anybody this month, this is more about you guys just kind of like having fun, living in the moment, not really taking things too seriously. I feel like a lot of you viewing this reading, pile 1, you're just kind of focusing this month on being single and being balanced with that chakra balance energy coming in here. This says harmony makes the song of life sweeter. So I feel like there's a real emphasis here on you guys sort of getting back into alignment with self, getting back into alignment with who you are as an individual, as a single person outside of a connection, okay? Some of you all might be moving on from a connection that was no longer serving you. And there is this feeling here of maybe with the temple path card being reversed that like, maybe you guys have sort of fallen off of your path as it pertains to love. And so, or maybe you're feeling like you've fallen off your path just in general in your life, maybe with career for some of you. And so this month, I'm really feeling like there's like a stronger emphasis here on getting yourself back on track, getting yourself back into alignment with your purpose and what you want to do. Finances and career coming up. This talks about financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So I feel like for a lot of you guys this month, as you're kind of getting yourself back into alignment, getting into harmony with life, it's almost like there's more of a focus here on goals and aspirations you have with regard to career and, like I was mentioning, life purpose with the temple path reversed. So I'm definitely really curious to see when we get into like the more nitty gritty details of your reading, what is coming through. Because overall energy, it really doesn't feel like you guys are majorly focused on like a relationship or a partner this month. It feels more like you guys are focusing in just on being with self, being single. And there's nothing wrong with that, because being single and self-love is all a part of the process of attracting love into our lives, right? If we're not vibing high on our own, if we're not feeling happy on our own accord, it's going to be difficult to attract in and manifest a high vibrational partner that we deserve. So I'm going to set these guys off to the side for a second, and we're going to go ahead and see what specific details are coming through for you guys this month. So we have the 5 of Challenges, which is the 5 of Swords. We have the White Heart, which is the Fool. We've got the 9 of Visions in reverse, which is the 9 of Cups. And then we have the 2 of Pentacles here. Clarifying these energies, we've got Truthful and Honest. Okay. We have Wound Mates. Okay. We have Dreams Come True. And we have Challenging Times. Okay. All right, you guys. So what does this all mean? So as you guys are starting off the month of August, with that 5 of Challenges, clarified here by Truthful and Honest, this really makes a lot of sense with, and also with this 9 of Cups reverse, with the energy of being happy, being single, but also with this energy of harmony and balance, okay? I feel like at the beginning of the month, you guys might be confronting some sort of negativity as it pertains to your love life. So this could be a person, but this could also just be speaking of like negative self-thoughts, self-defeating thoughts that sort of like sabotage our success as it pertains to love. 5 of Swords is sort of like when we're fighting a battle that is not worth fighting anymore. And I feel like you guys are coming to this realization here toward the beginning of the month of August that this energy is no longer serving you. So whether this is still a person, because it does kind of feel like there is sort of a presence of somebody else in your life this month, with the Wound Mate card coming up here. They don't feel like a huge major focus, but it does feel like there's like the remnants of someone. So you guys are either being truthful and honest with this person about like really authentically and vulnerably how you feel, or it's about getting real with yourself about what's been blocking you from love. I do see here we have this energy of the White Heart, which is the Fool. And so I do feel like there is a situation in your love life that you guys have done some reflection on, or that you are going to be coming to this realization in the month of August of like what it really was. It's almost like you're looking at this from a fresh perspective. Maybe you're seeing it through fresh eyes. The Fool also talks about taking a leap of faith and new opportunities. But this energy that I'm picking up on from this particular Fool card, it feels a lot more grounded, and it feels a lot more... It feels a lot more grounded in reality, I guess is the vibe I'm picking up on. And because this Fool card is like surrounded by this beautiful mystical mist, it's making me feel like you guys are having a lot of moments of reflection around this wound mate. And so a wound mate is sort of like another term for soulmate. But as you guys know, that soulmates don't always mean the warm and fuzzies, right? Soulmates are usually just a term for a person that comes into your life to teach you a lesson, whether it's positive or negative, and the lesson is intended to help our soul's growth, okay? And so a wound mate is kind of the something similar to this, right? I feel like you guys have been or are dealing with a person currently who doesn't necessarily bring out the best in you with this 5 of challenges here. You guys may end up in like petty arguments with this person or like a battle of egos with this person. A lot of times in connections, though, this 5 of challenges is really talking about, nobody ever wants to show their vulnerability. Nobody ever wants to be the one to concede or show their true hand, right? It's about always being perceived as being the winner, and nobody ever wins in love. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not how love is meant to work. And so I feel like at the beginning of the month, there's a lot of this energy of coming to terms with this past situation or current situation for some of you. And I do feel like this is why more of the emphasis is being placed on being single. Because it's like you're coming to this place where you realize that like it's time for you to branch out onto a new, fresh beginning and leave this energy in the past. And I do kind of see that as the month goes on with the 9 of Cups reversed, this might feel kind of challenging for you guys to walk away from, because maybe this was somebody that you guys really felt like could have been your true wish fulfillment, or this could have been somebody who you really felt at one particular time was like your everything, but the 9 of Cups reversed just kind of talks about us feeling like we're sort of in a space of still needing other people to feel good about ourselves versus just like being fully confident and aligned with who we are alone outside of a relationship, okay? So again, this is why this chakra balance and the girl talk is coming through for you. This month, pile number 1, you guys this month are just really being challenged to maybe do a little bit of inner work on your love life and ask yourself like how this connection sort of maybe deviated you away from your true purpose. Like there's a lesson here that you guys are supposed to be learning as you're healing from this relationship or walking away from it. And the lesson is like, as you're walking away is how do I start to feel better about being on my own versus being connected to someone to make me feel better. And so by the ending of the month here with the 2 of Pentacles, challenging times, this is just about you guys like going back again to that finances and career energy here. You guys might be more focusing in on career toward the ending of the month, trying to kind of strike that healthy balance between like getting yourself back into alignment, right? I'm going to leave that there. Getting yourself back into alignment and, balancing out that fun time with friends and then work, right? Kind of getting your priorities in check. And it's so funny because my eye keeps going to this giant that's underneath the bridge. And this is a giant right here. And so this is why I keep feeling like there is this connection that is not really serving you, that's sort of like looming in the shadows this month. So even though you guys are trying to move forward and focus on yourself, it's like this giant is still watching you. This person is still watching you, or you're still watching this person. It's like there's still this energy of this like elephant in the room that doesn't need to be there anymore. And so I feel like the challenge for you guys here is about like continuing on with your life and healing and doing good for you while like maybe managing the amount of energy you're still giving to this person or thinking about the situation. So definitely you guys have an interesting month ahead, group number 1. I would love to hear kind of how this may resonate with your personal situation. So drop me a comment down below and let me know. Thank you all so much for taking the time to view, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey there, pile number 2. If you all chose this cute little You Are My Sunshine heart, this is going to be your August 2021 love reading. So what we're going to be doing for the first half of the reading today is I'm going to use some oracle cards to kind of tap into the overall energy or the overall themes that you guys are working with in your love life this month. Then we're going to get all the nitty-gritty details and kind of the timing of things in the second half of your reading. So make sure you stay tuned till the end. Let's go ahead and see pile number 1, what's happening for you guys this month in love. So we start out with the message of engagement. We have adjacent possibilities. We have ascending. And we have journey, sacral chakra. Ooh, this looks fun, you guys. So I'm definitely getting the impression that your love life is moving along this month in a really positive way. We have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level commitment. We also have ascending, right? So we kind of have that synchronicity coming through here of ascension. I feel like for those of you that are in a relationship, this month, your relationship is growing, it's expanding, it's moving into a new phase. And I feel like you and your partner are going to be enjoying a lot of fun times with one another this month. Makes a lot of sense. The month of August, for some of you watching this, would probably be summertime, depending on where you live. And so I feel like summertime is always like a fun time because the weather's good, it's warm outside, lots of adventures that you can be going on. Something that I'm picking up on here on this card, we have to enjoy the journey, let go of the outcome. So I feel like this month, as you and your partner, if you have one, are ascending or moving into a higher level of commitment, something that you're learning to do is kind of move and go with the flow of things. I feel like a lot of you guys that could be watching this, maybe you've struggled in the past with like setting an expectation or putting expectations on your partner. Or wanting or hoping for a certain specific type of outcome to happen on your timeline. And so I feel like you guys are finally moving into this phase in the connection where it's like, you don't really care about that anymore. You're just learning to be in flow and enjoy it for what it is. Now, for those of you who are not currently in a relationship, I do feel that your love life is ascending to a higher level commitment in a different way. Some of you, like, let's say you're single. I see you guys going out on a date or enjoying dating. Maybe you're dating someone. Maybe now you're in a committed relationship, right? So I feel like the key theme here, whether you're single or in a relationship, is just exploring. It's exploring, it's learning, it's enjoying your time with the people that you are connecting with in your love life, having fun and just going with the flow. And with this adjacent possibilities card, I feel like a lot of you guys this month are kind of thinking outside the box as it pertains to your relationships or dating. If you're in a relationship, I feel like you and your partner are sort of like, just this kind of speaks to just trying new things or moving in a direction that maybe you didn't really realize was a possibility, right? And the same thing too if you guys are single. I feel like this really speaks to you guys maybe getting into some new spaces, going out there and putting yourself in different places that you don't normally go to meet people. So you guys, there's also like an element of like being kind of purposeful and strategic about your dating life as well. Because it's like you guys are intentionally trying to have fun, but you're trying to, I feel, attract in a different type of energy. So the energy feels really light and positive for you this month, pile number 2. So let's go ahead and, I'm going to set these guys to the side. And then we're going to look at your details with the tarot. You guys also picked You Are My Sunshine. So maybe you guys are spending a lot of time outside in the sun, doing fun activities. Maybe that song, You Are My Sunshine, has meaning for some of you. So we've got the King of Wands reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed. So we have a couple here. We've got the Death card. And we've got the Four of Swords reversed. Okay, clarifying these energies. We've got baby steps. Awesome. We have leave it be. Okay. We have could be your person. Love this. And then we have sexual desires. Makes a lot of sense with some of those overall energies that we were picking up on, you guys. So I feel like in the beginning of the month of August, first of all, overwhelmingly, this pile feels like it's for those of you that are in connection. So whether you're in a committed relationship or maybe you've just been like dating someone or are dating someone, overwhelmingly, this feels like this isn't necessarily for my single people out there. Keep watching because maybe there's something in this reading that's still meant for you. But because we have the King and the Queen of Wands together here, at the beginning of the month. This, because they are of the same suit of wands, or in this deck, they're the king and queen of spells. This is making me feel like this is like a compatible couple that's on the same page, that has sort of like similar ideas and personality traits, right? This is also strong fire sign energy, Leo, Sag, Aries. So those could be signs of significance in your life this month. We also have Scorpio energy here with the death card. Lots of fiery energy here. And this, I feel, is really speaking to this ascension process that we were talking about. Both of these court cards are showing up here in reverse. So essentially, this is just sort of like blocked energies or exaggerated energies of the masculine and the feminine in this connection, however you would identify. I feel like whoever's identifying as the masculine in this connection at the beginning of the month is maybe feeling not as confident in themselves, or feeling like they just kind of want to take the connection slow with those baby steps here. And if this person is feeling any sense of hesitation, it's just coming from something within them. It's coming from like a lack of certainty around themselves. I don't really feel like it has anything to do with the feminine here. This feels like it's more attached to the person, the individual. The feminine here at the beginning of the month is also reversed, the Queen of Wands, and we've got Leave It Be. And so I have to say, with this message here that came through of letting go of the outcome, I feel like the feminine is learning at the beginning of the month that they need to allow the masculine to move at their own pace. They need to allow this person to lead, right? Because it's interesting. The Queen of Wands reverse can sometimes be like almost more masculine than she is feminine. And I'm just using like their traditional terms, you guys. So don't like, this is just about the energy versus like the way you identify. But what this means is typically like extra, like instead of being like that vivacious, confident queen that's like an attention magnet and just like attracts to her, this could be somebody that's showing up as maybe being a little bit too controlling or maybe a little bit too bossy, more in her masculine energy versus in her feminine energy, which is interesting because the masculine is showing up more in his feminine energy than in masculine energy. So this is where this like these reversals are coming from. And so I feel like the feminine here at the beginning of the month is sort of learning this lesson about letting it go and just enjoying the journey, okay? And that's why we have this clarified with Leave It Be. And this is why this connection is ascending, you guys. Both partners in this connection are getting prepared to transition this connection into maybe something different through doing self-work, but then also through learning from each other when you're in union as well. Toward the ending of the month, we are seeing a shift in this connection. So we've got the Death card. The Death card, this really speaks of change. It speaks of transition. It speaks about a relationship sort of moving into a phase that is more permanent, or moving into a phase that we didn't necessarily, well, maybe you might plan for it, but essentially it has just more of a sense of permanency, right? So this is where this engagement is coming in, right? The connection is sending to a higher level of a commitment. There's a realization here toward the ending of the month that you guys could be each other's person, right? I don't feel like it's totally set in stone yet. I definitely feel like this connection is still going to need time to evolve even past the month of August. But later in the month of August, I see this realization and this kind of want to connect on a deeper or more expansive level than you all have been doing in the past. And closing out the month here, we've got the Four of Challenges reversed with sexual desires. So this is really talking about coming out of a time of stagnancy, or coming out of a time of maybe rest or lack of movement. And there's chemistry that's coming to light here at the ending of the month here with sexual desires. This also speaks in connection with the sacral chakra, because the sacral has to do with the way we sexually connect and sexually express ourselves as well. And so I feel like if you and this person haven't really like explored that side of your connection, or you've been maybe not ready to do that, or maybe that aspect of the connection has been on ice for a little while, it's almost like you guys are reigniting your passion for one another by the ending of this month of August. So this looks really positive for you. It definitely looks like you guys have some action going on in your love life. And it's still going to be like a time frame where you all are really learning and growing as individuals, but your person is doing that as well. And I feel like you guys are really coming together to help one another grow and to help one another be your best selves. So I would love to hear your feedback on how this resonates with you down below, pile 2. Thank you all so much for taking the time to view today's reading, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey there, pile number 3. If you guys chose this gigantic selenite heart, this will be your August 2021 love reading. So we're going to start off with some oracle cards so that we can get a sense of the overall energies you guys are working with, the bigger picture themes for your month. And then we're going to move into your tarot cards to get the nitty-gritty details of what's happening this month, okay? So you guys have religious factors. Ooh, you have the 7th chakra. Very spiritual energy coming through right off the bat. You guys had 2 of these come out. So you got not today, addiction, okay? And more crown chakra, divinity, recognize the divine in the mirror. Wow. This is really powerful energy, you guys. Okay. I feel like you guys this month, pile 3, this is a really powerful month ahead in love. I feel like you guys are really going through a spiritual awakening as it pertains to your love life this month. You have so many cards that speak of spirituality. You've got religious factors, and you've got 2 crown chakra cards that came out. And just so you guys know, when I shuffle them like this, I don't look at the cards before we pull them up on the screen. So this is just totally like a synchronicity that the universe is showing us right now. The crown chakra is telling me that I feel like what's going on in your love life is that you guys are looking at the spiritual meaning or the higher meaning behind connections in your life or relationships from your past. We're going to get to the details in a minute to see like who you're connecting with, if anybody, or like kind of the details of what's happening in your love life. But overwhelmingly, this is a focus on self that I'm getting here and trying to understand things from a more divine perspective. Some of you guys might be dealing with a person or a partner where religion or spirituality has been a factor. There could have been situations in your past or present where maybe you or your partner have totally different spiritual beliefs. This can also be talking about the realization that you want a partner that is in alignment with you spiritually, right? Like maybe if you practice a certain belief, you want them to practice that same belief. But it feels really very much like lessons that we're reflecting on. And it seems like you guys are dealing with or have been dealing with connections that maybe haven't been serving you in your highest good. So it's like, it almost feels like you guys are finally becoming enlightened to some unhealthy patterns that you've been dealing with in love. So we've got addiction here. This talks about codependent relationships. It talks about obsession, controlling. You can see here, like if you look at the card, that she's being like, she's got this heavy heart chained to her ankle. So it's like codependency can talk about like being addicted to love or always needing somebody there or being that person that kind of shows up in the relationship as the overgiver or the overfunctioner or the one that's overly caring and nurturing when you've got maybe an avoidant partner that's not reciprocating those things. And I feel like you guys are coming to those conclusions and having that reflection on how that has maybe played out in your life as you're navigating the month of August. We also have not today. This is about blocking someone out and setting boundaries. And so it's interesting too because it also talks of avoidance, avoiding a conversation, call, or a person. And so it's interesting that we've got avoiding and this sort of more anxious energy at the same time, because a lot of times this is a paradigm that we see very frequently in relationships where you've got one person that's an anxious attachment and the other that's an avoidant attachment. And those are like some of the worst to be in a relationship together because the avoidant person is like threatened by closeness, but then the anxious person craves that closeness. And so it creates this really unhealthy dynamic between the people where nobody's getting what they want. So I definitely see that there is somebody in your life, in love, that you guys are just trying to maybe set better boundaries around. This person is likely somebody that hasn't treated you very well or has done something to upset you. And I feel like you guys are just sort of like finally maybe seeing it, like I keep saying, from the higher perspective. Having this awakening that this wasn't healthy for you or isn't healthy for you anymore. So let's go ahead. I'm going to set these off to the side here. And then what we're going to do is get the details. Because now I'm really curious to see, like, what is going on? And you guys, I have to tell you, you had so many extra cards jumping out. So it might be a little longer for your reading. So we have Justice, which is the Huntsman. The Nine of Swords reversed. We have the King of Swords reversed. The Ten of Cups reversed. Let's move this heart out of the way so I can get the last one. Lots of swords here. And then the last one, Seven of Spells, the Seven of Wands. Clarifying these energies, we have Cut the Cord. We have True Love. We have Other Obligations. And we have When It Fits, It Flows. That is a very spiritual vibe to be on, you guys. A very enlightened vibe to be on. So yeah, for sure, this month is about lessons. So Justice has to do with like karmic relationships. And that's kind of what I was picking up on with these energies that we were talking about at the beginning here. There's like a person in your life or a relationship in your life that I think was presented to you to better illuminate some of these behaviors and some of these patterns that you may be experiencing in love or that you may be prone to. Pile number 3. And I feel like you guys are sort of coming to this realization at the beginning of the month of August that this connection or this person or this behavior is no longer worth you being anxious over anymore. The Nine of Swords reversed is like we're no longer overthinking things. We're a lot more calm. We're a lot more clear about the reality of the situation. We're seeing it for what it is and we're calm about it. And so there's this energy of sort of deciding that it's time to cut this energy out of your life. And that's exactly kind of what I was picking up on here with this boundaries card here as well. We have the King of Swords here presenting himself at the middle of the month, which is like air sign energy. And there's a lot of air here. This Justice card is also Libra, which is an air sign, but we could have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, could be signs of significance. And this person, this could be the person that you guys are dealing with. This could be your energy. But I also think there is this energy of still feeling like this person is, like there's still love here. There's still love that you hold for this person. And I kind of feel like maybe this person, I feel like this is the other person, not you guys, because the King of Swords reversed is very much about like somebody who's not really in their power. This would be somebody who's not really clear or seeing the situation clearly and logically and fairly. You know what I mean? Because with all of these crown chakra energies coming through, I feel like you guys are really clear as you're navigating the situation about what you want to do. And so I feel like this person is like still maybe unrealistically like seeing this as like, oh, you're my true love. I still want to be with you. But you're kind of on this energy of like, you guys are like, no, thank you. Like, I'm not interested. And so what's great is that like by the ending of the month, you guys are really in this place of like letting go of those fantasies with that 10 of Cups reversed, letting go of any sort of like dreamy, not realistic expectations or unrealistic thoughts and feelings about this connection. And you're focusing your attention in on other things, other obligations, other things going on outside of this relationship or outside of this connection. And I feel like by the ending of the month, you guys are laying down some really clear, solid boundaries with this person. So if y'all are still kind of dealing with them, I still see them kind of here in the middle of the month of August. And I feel like by the ending of the month, you guys are finally putting your foot down and you're like, nope. You're like, leave me alone. I'm not dealing with this. We're setting boundaries around this situation. And the vibe you're on is when it fits, it flows, which is very much tying back to that crown chakra energy, pile 3. It's very much like you're no longer going to invest your energy into something that's no longer serving you anymore. And you shouldn't have to force something to come together. It should just naturally flow if it's meant to be, right? So even though this definitely feels like you guys are moving through some major kind of changes in a relationship this month, pile 3, by the end of it, it's feeling very much like y'all are in your power and you're standing your ground, which is a really, really empowered place for you guys to be. You guys also did pick the selenite, which has to do with purification. This is one of the most healing and purifying crystals that you could ever work with. So this might be something that you all want to pick up. It's fairly inexpensive too, if you're on a budget, and it doesn't have to be quite as big as this one, but this might be a really helpful, stone for you guys to be keeping around in your collection as you're navigating through the situation. So we're going to go ahead and close it out there, pile number 3, but thank you guys so much for taking the time to view today's reading. Definitely drop me a comment down below. Let me know how it resonates, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey there, pile number 4. If you all selected this beautiful labradorite crystal, this is going to be your love reading for the month of August. So we're going to start off your reading with looking into the overall energies that y'all are working with, kind of like the bigger picture themes for your month. And then we're going to transition into the nitty-gritty details with the tarot, kind of in the back half of your reading here. All right, so pile 4, we have codependency. We have patience, okay. We have love call, okay. And we have the root chakra, security. Okay, you guys. All right, so I definitely feel like you guys are connecting with someone this month. I feel like you guys are dating someone this month. And I kind of feel for a lot of you guys that this relationship is probably something new, maybe something that's not completely grounded or like completely, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe it's not really been built up just yet, okay? The love call is really catching my eye. This is about someone expressing love, a message of love, someone thinking of you and letting you know. So while I do see that you guys are connecting with somebody this month, the overwhelming emphasis is still on self, okay? There are a lot of messages coming through about safety and security and sort of relaxing as it pertains to relationships. You guys have the message here of codependency. If you guys aren't super familiar with this, you want to look this up. But this says addictions are affecting your romantic life. And with that being coupled by security and patience, I feel like those of you who selected this group might have challenges with feeling secure in your relationships, in romantic relationships specifically. You know, so maybe sometimes you guys feel like when someone's texting you, or maybe, okay, let me get like a more clear example. So maybe like you guys might struggle with overthinking things in relationships. So maybe like someone texts you and you respond, but then they don't text you till like 3 hours later. So then you don't text them back till 3 hours later. And it's because like at the end of the day, you're kind of annoyed that this person took so long to text you back. That's like a sign of anxiety in relationships, right? That's just one example of a behavior that could be that. But this is also about just really needing kind of like that validation from someone, really needing somebody to be very close with us so that we feel safe and secure with them. And that's, you guys, there's really nothing wrong with that. It's still something that needs to be healed. But it's just, it's all in the way that you communicate your needs with your partner, right? So as you guys are navigating the situation this month, you're really being guided here to stay grounded. So if you start to experience like that clingy feeling or that anxious feeling or however this manifests itself for you, going out into nature, doing things that feel really soothing to your spirit will be really helpful. Because again, I still feel like this is something like kind of new that's coming through, just the way that it's here. Because it's like a call, it's like a text, it's like light communication. And so I don't want you guys like freaking out over like the little details before it's even had a chance to get itself off the ground. Patience and timing is coming through here for you as well, pile number 4. So I definitely think that this month, Spirit is wanting you to just be patient when it comes to love and when it comes to the situation in general. I feel like they're really wanting you to kind of go within and focus on your own feelings of safety, security, kind of like examining why you may exude this behavior or maybe even attract in partners that are like this. And it doesn't mean that you can't still date and connect with people if they're interested, but they want you to really spend this time this month doing the inner work. And if you guys are connecting with someone, they're wanting you to kind of stay calm, stay cool, be patient, kind of let things flow. Let things kind of flow in their own timing without you needing to kind of control the outcome or have an expectation of a specific outcome. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these off to the side, and then we're going to look at the details of what's going on here. Let's see. So we have the 7 of Swords reversed. We have the 4 of Pentacles reversed. The 2 of Swords. Oops. Okay, hold up. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah. This month, you guys are really guided to self-reflect. Clarifying these messages, we have ready for love. We have money struggles, okay? Married in spirit, and direct communication. So yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like you guys are communicating with someone this month because we have married in spirit, we have direct communication here, so there is still like this light, soft undertone of connection. But again, I'm going to emphasize like the majority of the energies that I'm picking up on here feel more about self and what you guys need to be doing for yourselves this month in love. So starting off the beginning of the month, I feel like you guys are finally kind of coming to the realization that you're really ready for true connection. You're really ready for love. The 7 of Swords sometimes talks about like self-sabotaging behaviors and self-sabotaging patterns that we don't always realize we're doing when it comes to connections. And the reason that this energy is self-sabotaging is because sometimes like this is about like not being willing to be vulnerable and not always being truthful with how we're feeling. Like we're keeping things to ourselves. Makes a lot of sense here with this energy of codependency that we talked about. So with it being reversed, this is like a really positive sign that you guys are kind of realizing like maybe you've been getting in your own way as it pertains to connections and really having deep, meaningful connections with others that you seem to really want and desire. As you guys are navigating through the beginning half of August with the 4 of Pentacles reversed, with money struggles, sometimes like spirit, it throws in other things or wants you to focus on other things. So this actually does talk about money and maybe needing to sort of like turn your attention onto your financial flow at the beginning of August and just be kind of mindful of how you're spending. Make sure you're not overspending. However, another meaning that I'm picking up from this that does kind of relate back to self, this is about kind of like letting go of that feeling of lack. And a lot of times when we are in these codependent, addictive relationships, this behavior comes from a feeling of lack, right? Like where we're just clinging on to someone because we don't really feel like we truly have them. Do you guys get what I mean? Like, I can remember dating a guy that used to always, like, I could just feel his energy just like latching onto me and it just made me feel so uncomfortable. Like I could tell that this person was so like clingy and like always texting and like I knew that he was doing this because he didn't feel secure in the connection, right? He was operating from a place of feeling like he didn't really have me for real. And so I feel like that's more of what this is talking about for you from a spiritual perspective as it pertains to love in August. This is about you guys sort of letting go of that mindset of lack or needing to cling to somebody. And the great thing is that like by the ending of the month of August, you guys are sort of like doing a lot of really nice self-reflection with this Two of Swords. This isn't necessarily about like communicating with someone or like overly, connecting with someone, but it's like you guys are taking a long, hard look in the mirror. And I feel like you guys are trying to decide, okay, like, who do I really want to show up as in a relationship? Like, and what do I want my romantic partners to show up like in relationships? It's almost like I'm feeling you guys might be realizing that people you connect with are sort of mirroring. Maybe you guys mirror each other's energies, right? Like you're coming to this realization that people you connect with might reflect back traits and qualities that you have that are kind of shadowy as well. And so I feel like toward the ending of the month of August, you guys are sort of in this place of like, okay, like let me really get clarity here around like, how do I want to show up in connections and what type of partners, what's like the ideal spiritual partnership that I want to manifest into my life? And so by the ending of the month, I definitely see you guys here sort of like more focusing in on maybe not focusing is the right word, but the Eight of Pentacles being reversed is sort of like when we're not really so fixated on the details anymore of what's going on. And so I do feel like as you guys are like communicating and talking to people or having these little connections that seem to be sort of an undertone here, there's like less of this energy of fixation and just more energy focusing in on like getting straight to the point, saying how you feel, right, with that Seven of Swords reversed. And not being so focused in on like, I have to make this work. I have to do this. I have to do that. Just sort of like letting it flow. So I think we're going to go ahead and close it out there for you, Group 4. But I really hope that this resonated with you. Definitely drop me a comment down below and let me know what's going on with you guys in love. Thank you so much for taking the time to view this reading today. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.